Hello everyone, this is me again, Brian, and today we are going to talk about rights and equality. What policies are there to ensure justice for the LGBTQ communities, for mistreated foreign workers, and for women? And how can we repeal the laws of 377A, and why doesn't the government support marriage equality among LGBTQ? And it's going to be a commitment to ask in this way of a custom and acceptance of rebellions among people and the way they want that issue to be a part of a rebellion way of purging their thoughts in a certain methods. And if they cannot accept the current situation, it's going to becomes a lot more difficult for them to rebel against a law that may affect them, and then it will escalate it into a more difficult situations like drugs and other form of rebellions like violence and spiritual warfare that will eventually be unable to deal with, and it causes people to be fallen into a mode of godliness, a feeling of godliness um, that is satanic in its own ways, and it's not going to be a good way of godliness, because if they are able to achieve everything and anything they can receive from the current society, it leads into princess emperor complex, and it leads to a lot more difficult situation to solve. The road is a journey, and on which tier of success you will achieve, it will depend on the level of barrier of entry in which people can reside in that tier which they are comfortable with. The more powerful you become, the higher tier you will reach in terms of the underworld and in terms of the government, and on earth, on heaven, or in hell. There are different tiers and different levels, and where you feel very comfortable residing in. And if there is no barriers of entry into this kind of spiritual realms, the higher that barrier of entry will be created by people. If not by the government, then it will be by the individuals. And to breach into that barrier of entry in the underworld, if no policies has been used to defend against such barriers of entry, eventually this kind of barrier of entry will be too difficult to be breaching into, and this disparity of power between that government and between that underworld government will eventually lead into a unbalance, and this unbalance will cause a downfall, like how the Babylon was collapsed. And people think that the collapse of Babylon is a good thing, but to be honest, if it is uncontrolled and happen one time too many, the unstable situation will eventually leads to a fulfillment in the prophecy, and the fulfillment of prophecy leads to the end time, and everyone will be thrown into hell, and only that few will survive. So this is racism and discriminations, and what steps are taken to prevent racial and gender discrimination in the workplace is what we spoke yesterday. So today we are going to talk about rights and equality and what policies are there to ensure the justice for the LGBTQ communities, for mistreated foreign workers and for women, and how can we repeal the law 377A, and why doesn't the government support marriage equality among LGBTQ, and to make it very difficult for them is if they allow the repealing of law 377A, which will destroy the faith and the statues of God for many people. And the next step, if they repeal the law of 377A, the next step will be making the marriage of these people illegal. So they wish they regretted what they have done, if they were to regret. And this is quoted by one of the solution was quoted by two firms, which makes a lot of sense. Because one step taken, you have to increase the barrier of entry for either of the Protestant of spiritual realm, which is the LGBTQ, and you have that religion that supports LGBTQ, which is their own religion, and you have that religion that doesn't support. And these are the equilibrium of an example would be the Catholicism and the Protestant. So we pick up two cards today, and the card says a good name is more desirable than great riches. To be esteemed is better than silver or gold. Proverbs 22 verse 1. And with God all things are possible. Matthew 19 verse 26. The Lord bless you and keep you. Numbers 6 verse 24. So this is actually a representation of how dealing with life like a deck of cards which contains wisdom is how it's like, and using daily verse to support issues, and with your own discernment and wisdom and experience you can actually develop an idea of what you face in daily lives, provides a viable solution, a fresh breath air, and will you be able to achieve such desirable results, desirable circumstances, and it allows you to continue to hold strength, to continue to be able to hold your spiritual gifts by channeling the pain of revenge, of vengeance, and to remind you of what you have lost. And all this pain, when it converts into stress, converts into pain and vengeance, and then you will receive that kind of prayers that is so convincing that you try to constipate the ideas and really feel the pain and struggles of life, and you receive that brain fogging, that you try to maneuver and sprint through that brain fogging. You run through that pain of fog, and you know that you have overcome, or you are in the midst of diving into deep waters in search of the truth, which will set you free, and you will want to receive that. You want to receive that kind of freedom, because these are the freedom that unlocks doors. These are the freedom that helps you to overcome and medicate on your future troubles as you walk through the valley of death. And this voice and these words will be comfort. Even just for a little bit, it will be served at its own reason. And can you imagine that pain and that disgust, that feeling of losing and so many things, and going through the pain over and over again? It's a despair. And why people enjoy this pain and suffering? Because it makes you a better person. It makes you stronger in these difficult, challenging times of adulthood, of our geographical location, where we are in the center of everyone's eyes. People are watching you, are listening to what you are saying. And without that confidence and without that pain and suffering, you will never, ever receive the voice of salvation. And this has come in the pain, through the pain of the process that you have gone through. And you need that voice to help you, because the pain is unbearable, and only you can try to bring some level of comfort, to explain the situation, because words can no longer have its own meaning. Emojis no longer has the ability to bring comfort. Photos has no ability to bring comfort anymore to you if you're all alone. So it's just the voice that accompanies you to a long road ahead, which is now I'm only 33 years old, and you can imagine the pain of living until 75 and 40 over years without a hope, without a lifeline that you can confirm and guarantee certain success. And the only way is just to live daily by faith, to know that whatever you go through, it's only going to hurt you even more, and it's how you comfort yourself in this way. And the ability to show and rage such pain and anguish, and you can go through this abyss, the place of abyss, the place where people, they put all the sinners into this place. They put all the pain and criminals and all that spiritual shit, they put it into this place, and then they call it Singapore. And without this kind of evilness that we develop within ourselves and able to control them, we will never ever be the person that can control this, and we will use this to our benefit because of the nature of the country we are in, to survive for more than 55 years and beyond. It's not that we have a chance, it's not that we have anything, we only have hope. We only have hope for the future. And this is how we are going to continue to live our life, to live our place, to use this as a lifeline and a breath of fresh air. And we can surpass whatever we want to do without knowing what is going to happen tomorrow and what are people going to do about us. And with all things are possible, with all things are possible. The good and the bad both are possible. The underworld and the heavens and the hell both are possible. And which place do you choose to be in? Which place are you chosen to be in? And this is a very difficult situation for every one of us, not knowing the future holds. Whether it is good or bad, we can only think in this way because this country is filled with spiritual realms, with people that is going to harm us. And if we don't defend ourselves in any ways, we will always be in that abyss of depression, of oppression from all over the world who sees us as someone who has a lot of power, a lot of money, and they come and expect things and steal things from us and duplicate things from us, and it leaves us into a stage where we need to be unique, and we try our best to be unique, and then we get copied again, we get replicated again, and even we ourselves, we replicate others. Is not by choice. Sometimes it's really we don't have a road to go. And with this being said, whatever it is, some things money cannot buy is the good name, because it's more desirable than great riches, and to be esteemed is better than silver or gold. So this is a collection of the 101 proverbs to guide your path and enrich your life day by day. And the Lord will bless and keep you, and He will keep you safe from harm. And with this, He keeps everybody safe. He keeps everybody in His watch, under His mighty wings and feathers that shields us from the deadly rays, and to hold us in our positions, to comfort us during good times and bad. And we continue to live in these thoughts, in this way, because what other ways are we able to go through life? Are we able to go through life in another method? Is another way that nobody really knows, because such pain of oppression, the anguish of going to a place filled with so much fishes. You cast your lure, but you cannot get the fish. I don't understand why such stupidity happens when there's so much fish. You throw your lure, but the fish doesn't even bother to bite it. All they do is to dance and splash at the left side or the right side of where you are casting. And when you cast that lure to that side, the fishes are gone. They move to the left or move to the right. And the world is so fucked up and so pain, because you know that somebody is playing tricks on you. to force you into submission when you can just land that fish and take a photo and call it a day. But no, it doesn't happen. It makes you confused. It makes you into the left and it makes you into the right, and people find comfort and funny things. And who are controlling all these things, and why are they able to control all these things, and why do not just give that fish and spend so much money on the lures? And in this process of having all these words and anguish of vengeance and confusion and anger and revenge, change it into a professional beggar. And then you release your stress, because this is the only thing you can do left. You have no other ways to purge out your thoughts. This is the Bible for you. So as we talk about rights and equality, what policies are there to ensure justice for LGBTQ communities? For mistreated foreign workers, and for women? When can we repeal Law 377A? Why doesn't the government support marriage equality among LGBTQ? As we turn to numbers, then we can better explain the kind of situation that we are going through to more of in the road of power of acceptance. And it's not what you think, it's not a solution, it's more of a comforting approach when you cannot get what you want. And this offers you a chance to open the words and try to give us that level of competence, and to remember who was the one that helped you to reach where you are, and you continue to give thanks and prayers to the pastors, to the people around you, to the Lord. This has so many less to you and keep you. Numbers 6-4. This is the Bible for today. Thank you, everyone. May God bless you. May God keep you. Amen.